Lately, a lot of people come to me and say, Tony, this GFA harmonization thing, is it new or marketing gimmick? Some even joke with me, is it government change rule to make property look more expensive? Actually, no. What changed is how space is counted today. I'll break it down very simply so you'll know whether you're paying for real space or just nice numbers.
Okay, let me start with something a bit confusing. Recently, you may notice land prices like going down, but new condo prices go higher. So naturally, people ask, hey, how come like that? Actually, this is not because market crazy. It's because the rules have changed. The key reason is something called GFA harmonization. From June 1st, 2023, URA, SLA, BCA, SCDF all use the same way to measure floor area. This is not small change. It actually changes how property value is calculated. Previously, buyers were paying for things they can't really use. High ceiling, empty air, big aircon ledges, and inconsistent wall measurements. Now, under the new rules, voids don't count. Aircon ledges cannot be free anymore, and everything measured properly to the middle of the wall. So, this is where many people get confused. They see new launch PSF higher and think, wow, very expensive. But actually, the usable space is the same, sometimes even more. The difference is now you pay only for space you can really use. That's why today, PSF alone is not enough. We need to look at something called effective PSF. How much you're paying for the space you can actually live in. Once you calculate properly, some older condos are actually more expensive than new ones. Here's a real comparison. A pre harmonization unit looks cheaper at first glance, but includes 350 square feet of unusable space. The post harmonization unit costs less overall and gives buyers more actual living area. This clearly shows why listed PSF alone is no longer a reliable indicator of value. From the developer side, also pain. Before, aircon ledges and curtain walls were free money. Now cannot already. Profit margins drop about 5 to 8%. So developers must adjust strategy. That's why you see recent GLS land bids coming down. Not because developers no confidence, but because the rules changed. This is a recalibration, not a crash. Actually, the biggest impact is not on new launches, it's on the resale market. Because now, buyers are more informed and more careful. Many older units look cheap on PSF, but that PSF includes voids, ledges, planter boxes. You don't see it immediately, but you're still paying for it. So on paper, one unit looks bigger and cheaper, but after deducting unusable space, the actual living area almost same as newer project. This is where many buyers get trapped if they only see headline numbers. Going forward, we'll see two types of properties. One group valued based on usable space and efficiency. Another group still relying on inflated size. And these two groups will perform very differently. So if you're buying, remember three things. First, don't just look at PSF, look at total price. Second, always compare usable space. Third, choose good layout. Good layout always wins in the long run. If you're selling an older property, strategy must change. Don't just say how big it is, show how practical it is. Use floor plans, videos, explain clearly, and price it realistically based on today's market. This is not just a policy update, it's a value reset. The era of selling empty space is over. Efficiency and transparency are now compulsory. So, in today's Singapore property market, efficiency is the new luxury. It's no longer about finding the cheapest PSF, but buying the smartest space.
So, after listening to everything, if you're thinking, okay, I roughly understand, but still not 100% clear, don't worry, you're not alone. It also took me a while to understand.
Seller, you might be asking, does this affect how I should price my house? Is my unit considered expensive or cheap?
Buyer, you might be wondering, should I go for new launch or resale better? Which one really gives me more value now? After this, if you'd like to understand how this affects your property or plans, feel free to speak with us. We can go through it and see what works best for you.